Hey guys, it is Tamara. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Welcome back. We're actually going to be talking about cognitive restructuring in today's video. But first, I was trying to find something that I cannot find, and this is just how my life goes. So let's just go ahead back to my office here. I have no idea where it is. Oh well. It's okay. We're just gonna talk about cognitive restructuring instead. So, okay, so cognitive restructuring. All right, guys, so let's just go ahead and talk about cognitive restructuring, okay? This is a technique that I think a lot of my clients benefit from. I think it's more easily done than it is understood. And it's also easier said than actually done, okay? Because, you know, we can all say that we have thoughts that are, you know, not very positive, right? We can all say that we have thoughts that are not very constructive. I know I have them. But the reality is, you know, we really do think in negative terms more naturally than we do positive ways. And most of that is due to self-esteem. The other part of that is due to just the messages that society sends us through our television, through our radio, you know, through their behaviors and their attitudes towards us when we're in society or in public. So we have all these negative signals being kind of sucked into us by, you know, our brain and our senses and all of that. So we really do need to learn, well, how do I adjust my thinking so that I could be a little bit more healthy and so that I'm not looking at things from a negative perspective that can impact me. So we're going to talk about restructuring in today's video. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. For those who are subscribed and for those who are new, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button so you can stick around with us and be a part of our growing and validating community. We talk a lot about trauma, and every single thing I talk about on this channel always has a foundation of trauma. So everything that I talk about has been researched to support and work for the population of individuals who suffer from trauma. So we're not just a general mental health channel that's focusing on general mental health. We're actually focusing on things that can work for people with trauma. So the benefits for you in today's video is that I'm going to talk about cognitive restructuring, and I want to take you through an activity that may be helpful to you. All right? So let's just go ahead and jump into this, okay? What I want you guys to do is grab a piece of paper with me. So let's do this together as if you're in my office and I'm counseling you as my client, okay? So go ahead and grab a piece of paper. Pause me if you need to, but let's do this together. All right, so I'm gonna grab a, whatever you call this thing. I'm so tired. I can't think of what this thing is called. A clipboard. A clipboard. That's what it is. It's a clipboard. So go ahead and grab a clipboard, okay? This is called the dysfunctional thought record. The dysfunctional thought record, okay? What you're going to do is, first I want you to start by drawing a triangle. So draw a triangle on your page, and it has to be a triangle that's, you know, pretty nice in size, okay? So go ahead and draw that triangle. I just want you to have a visual of what we're getting ready to do, okay? Once you draw that triangle, go ahead and write the word thoughts at the top of that triangle. Once you write thoughts at the top, go ahead on the left side and write feelings or emotions, either word. And then on the right side of that triangle, go ahead and write action or behaviors. And I call this the thought triangle. Cognitive behavior therapy calls it the CBT triangle, or the dysfunctional thought record. And CBT is cognitive behavior therapy. Cognitive behavior therapy. The whole idea behind CBT is that we work with your thoughts in order to work with your emotions, in order to work with your behaviors. So if we kind of alter the way that we think about certain things, or if we alter the way that we approach things and think about things, we can alter how we're feeling about it and ultimately alter our behavioral reactions to it, okay? You know, I think CBT can be helpful, but I also think it could be negative in some ways, and we'll get into all of that sometime in this month. But For right now, CBT is really what I use at the foundation of all of my techniques with my trauma clients, even with kids. It works very well, and it's logical, it's rational, and a lot of people can kind of grab hold of it easily, and then we build from there. So the way that I like to see CBT is, CBT is a nice way to balance your thinking. That doesn't mean that you need to disregard thoughts that could be true. But what CBT in my office, I would like clients, to receive it as, is we're trying to balance your thoughts, and we're trying to look at every side of a situation to make sure that we're not just being negative. So that's really CBT from my office. Okay? All right, so you made that triangle. You have thoughts, feelings, behaviors. Thoughts, emotions, or actions. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to think of a situation that you're struggling with right now. Maybe you're struggling with getting married and you don't know if this person is the right person for you. Or maybe you're struggling with a job and you don't know whether to quit it on the spot or wait until you find your new job. You might be struggling with your spouse who's narcissistic and sociopathic, and you don't quite know how to get out of that relationship. Do I leave? Do I divorce? Do I not leave? Do I separate? What do I do? You may be dealing with trauma from your childhood. Do I go get counseling for this, or do I just let it go and see if I heal from it over time? Okay? Whatever the situation may be, I want you to give that, situation a title. So that's going to be the chief complaint. The chief complaint is whatever that situation is. So give that a title. Childhood trauma, don't know what to do with it. Need to get out of my marriage, not sure which way to go. Whatever way you want to title this, your chief complaint is what you're dealing with right now. Okay? Once you get that chief complaint, then I want you to add underneath thoughts, or somewhere on that page under thoughts, what your thought patterns are regarding that situation. So an example of this may be, your chief complaint may be, I'm struggling from childhood trauma. I don't know whether to seek counseling or to just forget about it. Your thought may be, what if I get into counseling and it doesn't work? What if I get into counseling and it doesn't work? So that's a thought. Another thought may be, what if I get into counseling and it works and I get healed, but then I lose kind of my direction in life. I don't know where to go because I've held this situation of trauma so close to me that it kind of became my identity. So what if I get into counseling and I get healed, and then what do I do, right? So that may be your thought. Your thoughts may be those two things I just spoke of, okay? Your emotions may be confusion, feeling lost, feeling some grief, feeling some regret, feeling some overwhelm, right? And then your behavior may be, I avoid counseling because I don't want to go. Or I make excuses because I don't want to go to counseling. Those are all behaviors. Those are actions. Those are things that you're doing or not doing. Okay? That's the thought triangle. Your thought, the emotion that your thought triggers, and then the behavior that your emotion triggers. It's a cycle. Okay? So that's the CBT triangle, and I work with my clients in learning how to take this frame of reference and apply it to different situations. How do I apply this thought triangle to this situation? How do I apply this thought triangle to what I'm doing in my life right now, right? So it's taking that frame and putting it on a different situation every time, and learning how to make it fit and learning how to make it work. Does that make sense, guys? I have some clients that are like, okay, come again. So go ahead in the comment section below and post your questions for me, okay? I'm happy to answer them. All right, so this is what I want you guys to do. After you do that thought triangle, get another piece of paper. This is what I want you to do. This is called the Dysfunctional Thought Record, and you're going to have columns, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to post a link in the description box for you, so that you can gain access to this record here, and you can actually print it off, or you can copy it on your own paper and use it this way. But what I want you guys to do, and we're going to talk about this next video, and we're going to talk about this dysfunctional thought record. But what I want you to do is jot this down, because you're going to recreate this or print it out, okay? So I want you to put on a piece of paper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're going to have 7 columns on your paper. And I want you to write down the date and the time in one column, the situation. These are going to be titles in your columns, okay? The automatic thought, just write down automatic thought, situation, date and time. Don't fill it in. Just these are going to be the titles to each column, okay? Emotion, cognitive distortion, alternative thought, and outcome. You're just going to add these as titles of each column, okay? And hang on to that until the next video, okay? I thought we might be able to do this in this video, but I think it's a bit much and I don't want to overwhelm you. So we're going to start this in the next video. And I want you guys to work with me as we go along. I think this video may be a little bit more powerful if you work with me, or, you know, pause me and rewind me and go back and kind of, you know, tweak this in the time that you're able to. But let's see if this stuff works. So let's just work with the thought triangle, the CBT triangle. See if you can, you know, do a couple of scenarios yourself, right? Kind of sit with yourself, reflect, and look over a situation and try to apply the thought triangle to that situation. Try to find patterns in your behavior, right? Here's my thought, here's my emotion, here's my behavior. Here's my thought, here's my behavior, here's my emotion, right? You can go that way as well. You can go thought, behavior, emotion, or you can go thought, emotion, behavior. Whichever way you go, right? This triangle influences your behavior and it influences how you think and how you feel. And so practice this. In the next video, we'll do the dysfunctional thought record together. Thank you so much for being with me in this video today, guys. I encourage you to hit the thumbs up button if this is helpful to you. Every time you hit the thumbs up button, you push us up in the statistics on the YouTube channel, and you make us readily available to other people who may benefit. So you're helping me, you're helping the channel, and you're helping them. And then go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to stick around and you like this kind of stuff and you want to still me as your online therapist for a little bit. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I welcome you. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.